Here I come. Yeah, so it's currently Sunday of opening weekend for pretty much all three Southeast parks, Dollywood, Six Flags Over Georgia, and Carowinds, all having their opening weekend the same weekend this year. So, of course, since Dollywood's my home park, I was there on Friday and then yesterday, Saturday. I still wanted to go to Carowinds this weekend as well, so I'm going today on Sunday, but I'm going to go ahead and go now because I got about 4 hours to get there. Luckily, the interstate is actually fixed now. I-40 was closed for a long time. It's back open, so that helps, but it is one lane in each direction. It's still very much a work in progress. It's at least open though, so that helps the drive not be 5.5 hours. But yeah, the park is only open until 6 p.m. tonight, which is really weird. I think Dollywood's open until 8 today. Dollywood was open until 8 yesterday as well. I figured Carowinds would be open until 8 as well, but no, they close at 6. I don't know why, but anyways. I am pretty exhausted because it's like 6 in the morning and I don't love getting up early. But I am looking forward to seeing the sunrise as I pass through the Smoky Mountains. That's certainly a highlight of this drive in particular. I stopped to get a McMuffin just to have something in my system and a large Dr. Pepper because I gave up soda for Lent, but it's Sunday, so I can have that. And that's gonna be nice. Yeah, I'm like halfway to Pigeon Forge right now. I just stopped real quick, make sure I have gas and everything for the trip. And like, I know it's 6 in the morning on a Sunday, but it's so eerily quiet. There's nobody at this gas station. There was like 3 other cars at McDonald's, but it was still weirdly quiet. Anyways, it's also like a little bit foggy. Maybe because it stormed last night. It's a little foggy. It's cool though. Oh, it's a cool vibe. Alright, I just parked super noisy with the interstate right there. But I'm staying at Carowinds' on-site hotel for the first time ever. It's a Springhill Suites by Marriott. It is a Carowinds on Carowinds property, so you'll see Carowinds signage everywhere. I just went into the lobby to get access to the parking lot because it is gated off. I'm staying here tonight, so I can't check in yet. But they did let me get into the parking lot, so that is nice. So I don't have to move my car at the end of the night tonight. But yeah, there you can see Intimidator Fury, all that. And here's the hotel. It's not a super large hotel, so it does fill up a lot. Yeah, here you can see where it's gated off. But anyways, all the landscaping around it is super nice. It's way nicer than the park area. When you do stay here, you just come out the lobby door, and then you take this sidewalk that'll take you all the way to the entrance of the park. I don't know exactly how long the walk is. I should probably track it real quick. Anyways, I've never stayed here before because it's either always full or it's just way too expensive. It's usually like $250 a night when I've looked. But I managed to get in here tonight for $120, which is, still a lot for me. But it's much more doable, and I definitely wanted to check it out. There are not very many regional theme parks like this that have an on-site hotel. Again, it is run by Marriott. And you can see pedestrian signage right there, which is nice, telling you where to go. It is just a Marriott Springhill Suites. But again, I did go in the lobby, and there's a bunch of like Carowinds signage and decorations in the lobby and stuff that's in the Cedar Fair font. So obviously Cedar Fair is very involved with it. I just guess Marriott, runs it. And I don't know exactly how the deal works. I always thought that was a little weird because Cedar Point has several on-site hotels that are all run just by Cedar Fair. But maybe it was just easier for Carowinds to bring in a partner. I don't know. But it's definitely nice that that's there. Yeah, if you're planning to spend multiple days at Carowinds, this is definitely nice. Just to get up in the morning, head over here, or at the end of the night, just walk back like I'm gonna do tonight. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so here we are. We'll get up here, and this is where the sidewalk should kind of dump us off into the parking lot to get the rest of the way to the front gate, which is super nice. You can see there's a bunch of hotels over there across the road, but there's no sidewalks and definitely no crosswalks or anything, so it's really not possible to walk to the park from any of the other nearby hotels. It's only the on-site hotel you can do that from, which I'm sure they did on purpose. But so there we go. We'll keep following the signs. It is interesting, when this hotel was built, I think it was 2019, there was definitely much more of a vision, it seemed, to turn Carowinds into almost more of a destination park. And I don't want to say that that dream is dead, but they don't seem to be pushing in that direction quite the same way that they used to. Which is strange because, like I alluded to, that hotel seems to be very popular. It's pretty much always full. Even right now, when I was checking in, the parking lot was like 80% full, even though they still have rooms left tonight. So clearly it's something that people use, even at the steep price. It's pretty much always booked out when I've looked. It just says no rooms available. So I know it's a small hotel. You can kind of see it from here. It's a very, very small one, which is why I always kind of thought that, they would add more, because they have a ton of land over there. ton of empty land. They could put 2 or 3 more hotels over there if they wanted to. I don't know why they haven't. It's an interesting question. But of course, the merger is done now. We've got the new Six Flags company consisting of the former Six Flags and Cedar Fair chains that seem to be reevaluating and taking. Oh my gosh. I didn't get good footage of that. Fury's running really slow this morning. It looked like it wasn't going to make it. Let's see how it does on the airtime hill over there. I think I saw it barely make it over that a second ago. Yeah, I do know near the beginning of the season, Fury typically runs pretty slow. So there you go. Looks like we're coming up on a Cats bus stop. That's weird. It doesn't say what line or anything. I was pretty sure that Carowinds did not have any public transit service. But maybe I don't know. That's weird. I'll have to look into that later. Yep, now we meet up with the path coming from the bus parking, and we head right in through this way, which is the way I actually entered through the first time I came here on a church trip. So we were using that parking lot. So anyways, it's fun. You get to enter under this part of Fury instead of going over the bridge. Park is kind of dead, and as you can probably hear, it is super windy this morning, so hopefully that doesn't take any rides down. But yeah, there's the parking lot. That's it. There are currently about twice as many cars parked at the hotel as are parked at the park. So yeah, we will head on in here in just a second. I'm gonna try to get a few more shots of Fury. Oh, and we're gonna hope that my all park passport works. I'll talk about that in a second. It's going. But yeah, I don't think I've said this on this channel before, at least not directly. I just took a job in southeast Wisconsin. I had to make sure I was getting my geography correct there. About 45 minutes away from Six Flags Great America, so that's going to be my new home park come about halfway through this summer. So big change for me, but I'm kind of excited for it, try something new. So because of that, instead of renewing my Carowinds season pass, I actually got a Six Flags Great America season pass with the all park passport that starting this spring allows you to visit all the legacy Six Flags and all the legacy Cedar Fair parks. I wanted to do that because for some reason you cannot yet share dining plans and stuff between legacy Six Flags and legacy Cedar Fair. Those are still separate completely. The only thing that's shared across the chains is just admission. And so since I'll probably only visit Carowinds maybe twice this year, and I'll be going to Six Flags Great America a lot, I wanted to get that pass to make sure I could get the Six Flags dining pass so that I can, because I'll be going there a lot more. I'll make a lot more use of that dining plan. I don't think I'll be going to Carowinds enough to justify its dining plan. So yeah, that was a lot to just say that I had to get a Six Flags Great America pass because of the pass stuff is kind of weird this year. And we're going to hope that that works, because I've heard a lot of people saying that it works super smoothly. They scanned their all park passport pass at whatever park and it just worked. But I have seen some people say it didn't work and they had to spend an hour in guest relations, and we don't have much time today. I was kind of walking around Fury a little bit because it's fun. We don't have much time today, so I'm really hoping it just works. But yeah, I did measure out. It's about 0.3 miles, so about a third of a mile from the hotel to the park gate. So not bad at all. Also, Nighthawk is gone. So I mentioned that in my other Carowinds vlogs that I forgot to upload until after Nighthawk was successfully removed. And it is no more. It is bye-bye. Yeah, the park is hilariously dead this morning. They only have one ticket thing open. The rain did not keep anyone away from Dollywood yesterday. But this is Carowinds. It's a little different. And also, it's a Sunday. But yeah, hopefully I can do a lot in the next 7 hours then. So you can see Nighthawk's turnaround there is still there, but nothing else is. So when I went to scan my Six Flags Great America pass at the gate, it did not work. Luckily, I went to guest services and they said it's kind of an issue they're having right now. Apparently all the legacy Cedar Fair passes are working fine, but they're having issues with some of the legacy Six Flags passes.
So I just went to guest services. They were very helpful and very quick. Within about 5 minutes, they just like printed me out like a paper receipt thing to take to the gate and scan in. So that was a little weird. They did say they're not having problems with people that have already like been to their home park, basically. The problem is, since, you know, obviously Great America's not open yet, and I've never been there, when those passes haven't been processed at their home park yet, then they don't get recognized across the two chains. Again, not a problem apparently if you have a Cedar Fair like if you have like a Kings Island or Cedar Point passport, that should work here no problem, but it's a hit or miss on the Six Flags side. But again, just go to guest services and get a paper receipt apparently, and that let me in just fine. Anyways, I know I'm kind of booking it through the park right now. I'm going straight to Fury because that's what you do when you come to Carowinds. I'm going to take some time to kind of explore the park, see what's new. Definitely do a what's new at Carowinds in 2025 video and construction update. Kind of like what I do at the beginning of every Dollywood season, except I'm actually here opening weekend for Carowinds now, so I can do that here as well. Running with 2 trains today, which is better than 1 and totally expected since the park is, you know, absolutely dead. Friggin' soul here. All right, I should be able to get way too many laps real quick because there's no line. They have 2 trains on it. All right, just got off like 5 rides in a row on Fury, and I think it just broke down because these people are parked not where they're supposed to be parked, and the other train went out a while ago. Yeah, it's kind of back, so I decided to take a break to grab some water, and then it broke down. But I got 5 rides in about 20 minutes, so that's pretty good. And it's B&M, so it should come back up pretty fast and break down very often. Oh, that's unusual. So definitely was a breakdown. So the ride's in E-stop state. So that's probably the first time I've ever seen a train actually stop on the first set of brakes there. Crazy. Nice. Oh, just released. There we go. So I guess it is sloped a little bit. I did not know that. These are the kind of nerdy things you get with me because I'm interested in these kinds of things. Anyways, they were able to reset from the station. There we go. Enjoy the rest of your day at Carowinds. Well, I still have an hour and a half before my Fury Locker rental expires, and it's still broken. They're having to work on it a bit, so I'll head over to Copperhead since that's the other ride that requires a locker, and I'll go do that while I have the locker already rented. I'm hoping to ride Carolina Cyclone later. It looks like it's closed right now. It was running cycles earlier, but it ended up not opening. Of course, as I mentioned a second ago, or many times, the park is absolutely dead today. 100% dead. Like, there's just nobody here. So more than really any other park I've been to, Carowinds seems to start closing some of their smaller attractions when the park is pretty empty, which I kind of get just because it's a park that kind of has way more rides than it should. If I'm being totally honest, for a park of its size, they cram a ton of coasters in here, and there's a lot of filler. So I get that they may not be able to operate all of them every day, especially on really empty days like today, but it does kind of beg the question of why you have that many rides if you can't justify running them all the time. I don't know, it's whatever. The Boomerang there is also closed. The Boomerang's testing right now, so it might end up opening later, or they might just be training. I don't know.
Carowinds is not responsible for items lost.
I will say all the times I've been to Carowinds, I am impressed by their commitment to run at least 2 trains on Fury and Copperhead and Intimidator. Like every day, they are always on 2 trains. At least those 3 headliners are always on 2 trains, even on a day like today where that train had 2 people on it.
Please exit to your right and walk all the way down to the bottom of the exit steps. Thank you for riding the Copperhead Strike and enjoy the all new boarding
Welcome on to Copperhead again. I'm gonna have to go get lunch after this. I'm gonna get my stuff in Fury's locker, and I'll decide when I want to eat lunch. What is really nice about this park actually is that land area wise, it's really small. Like, it's incredible they managed to fit 14 coasters or whatever they have. I guess 13 right now because Nighthawk's gone and they don't have their new one open yet, but Yeah, this park land area wise, it is tiny. So you can walk from one end of the park to the other in like 5 minutes. So it makes it very easy to hop between things compared to a lot of the other parks I visit, where it can take like 20 minutes to walk across the whole park. This is super weird. Here's a new park map with no Nighthawk in sight. And actually there used to be a path that cut through between Windseeker and the front of the park underneath Nighthawk, but because of the demolition that's not open right now, so they just completely removed that path from the park. So now the park is literally just a circle without the cut through the middle that it used to have. And then the new map also has the construction area and Camp Sleepy. The 2 new rides that are coming are not ready yet. So this map will be replaced again, I'm sure, as soon as those rides open. We don't know exactly when yet, but they'll be over in this area. So that's where they're notated on the map. But yeah, there you go. You'll also notice the other previously announced removed rides. Screamweaver used to be right there, gone. Drop Tower used to be right there, gone. And then there was the Scrambler was around right here, I think. That's gone. I don't think that was in their announcement they put out, but there is a construction wall around it. It's not open right now, and it's taken off the map. But it is still physically there. So, I don't know, maybe it's just getting a refurb. I honestly don't know if any other rides are missing. I do love this queue a lot. Really my only problem with it is that it's right next to the water park. It kind of kills the immersion. But otherwise, this is a very well done queue, and I hope this is what we continue to see from the new Six Flags company going forward with new additions. Theme them out like this. It's cool, it's nice. Like all this stuff, it kind of looks like random junk just sitting around, which is still be more interesting than a concrete queue. But it's not actually all junk. It all is part of the story for Copyright Strike. I mean, some of it is just junk, but it's purposeful. You know, it's not just stuff thrown around. We're in like an old farmhouse and Granny's making moonshine. And it's interesting, if you actually pay attention, most people don't, if you actually pay attention through the front part of that queue, you can actually see a lot of like references to the fact that something's not quite right with the jam. You see like subtle hints. It's kind of fun. I found Colin from Dollywood Studios. Wow. Got to talk to them for a second, so that was fun. But I need to go get my stuff out of the Fury Locker now because it's about to expire. So maybe I'll see them again. The park's pretty empty today, so. Looks like Hurler finally opened up, and it is running with 2 trains, which I usually don't see. Even on busy days, it's usually running 1 train. So it's good to see they're definitely prioritizing capacity here. Nothing's running with 3 trains today, but that's because the park is empty. The fact they've even got 2 on their headliners is pretty awesome. So heading towards Fury before you get to Hurler. Here's where Screamweaver, their Enterprise, used to be. I don't remember what make Enterprise it was, but as you can see, it's been ripped out. And that's about it. They haven't gated off this area, which is weird. The other ride removals they gated off. They haven't gated off this area, and they still left the queue there, the control booths, everything. They just tore the ride out. But yeah, I did do 5 rides in a row on Copperhead as well, which was really awesome. That ride's running really well. It is a little bit rattly, but I don't mind it at all. It's so good. Makes me really excited to hopefully get on Stardust Racers this summer. I am planning to go drain my bank account to go to Universal this summer and go to Epic Universe. So hopefully I'm able to make that work. Very happy we're finally getting another of those mock rides multi-launches in the States, even if it is at a park I won't get to go to very often. This is so weird, what the heck. I kind of figured that they would be, want to have the Nighthawk demolition done before the season started. But apparently not. It's still very much underway, but yeah, it's super strange. So it's hard to tell, especially because I don't come to this park that much, usually just 2 or 3 times a year. But it does seem like there was a lot of tree removal along with the demolition of Nighthawk so far as well. Either way, this area is like really open now. Like you can see all the way to the back of the park where you couldn't really see before. I don't know if I like it very much. I'm taking a break from construction update stuff to go eat lunch, which should be good. I want to eat lunch. Lunch is good. So yeah, spring has come pretty late in this area, so a lot of the trees don't have leaves yet, which just makes a lot of this park feel really weird because it relies on its tree cover a lot to make the park feel bigger than it is. So when the trees don't have leaves, you can just kind of look through and see everything, and you're like, oh wow, this park actually is pretty small. chilling at the booth under the Miami River Lumber Company sign. There's nothing suspicious about that barn. There's nothing in the window. So I'd say definitely thumbs down on the, I haven't eaten it yet, but thumbs down on the changes here. So it may just be today because it's less crowded, but the entree choices, they don't have the half rotisserie that they normally have. Then you can see here the portion sizes for the side is just like so much smaller than it used to be. I got fried okra and I easily got 3 times as much of that the last times I've ordered. They've definitely cut down the sizes of the meals a lot. So like this is a full meal. Then you have to pay extra to get a second side. You'd think they just put it on the same plate. I was told they weren't allowed to do that. They had to give you a second plate if you ordered the second side. That doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of stupid going on here with the food. All right, I got a large Mr. Pibb, and I forgot, or I wasn't really thinking, it's not like the cups I have at Dollywood, where I can just throw it in a backpack because there's no lid. So, I'm just gonna have to walk around until it's done, but that's fine. I had some more construction stuff I wanted to record. So I'll do that, hopefully finish up in the next 20 minutes, and then I'll have about 4 hours to ride everything else in the park I want to ride, because they close at 6. Anyways, Woodstock Express is great, so that's always good. It does appear Woodstock Express got a good amount of retracting this year. It's hard to tell exactly which parts are new or not, but it's running smoother than it's ever had before. So. Alright, I'm gonna go ride Thunder Striker. This ride has grown a lot on me since I first rode it when it was Intimidator. I didn't like it at all then. I really liked it my last couple of visits. Unfortunately, all the rides, especially Fury, seem to be running pretty sluggish today. Fury is particularly sluggish this morning, so kind of concerned that this one may not be running the best, but we're gonna see. And it looks like I'll be encountering my first true wait of the day just on the stairs. Unfortunately, they got rid of the old Thunder Road car that was in Thunder Striker's gift shop. I guess that was just a last year thing. That's very sad. Fortunately, they still haven't changed the queue at all. You can still see the imprint from where the Dale Earnhardt signature used to be there and all that. But, yeah, whatever. At least you got a new sign. And the ride's still running pretty good, so.
Welcome back, riders. Please remain seated until the ride comes to a complete stop. At that time, you may stay. Anyone having difficulty should notify an attendant who is coming back to physically lower and change the lap bar and seat. Please remain seated, facing forward, keeping your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. Thank you.
still selling Nighthawk merchandise. Kind of cleared out. I guess they got mugs. They got snow globes. Even a nano coaster. I might have to do a nano coaster later just because it'd be funny. All right, did 4 rides on Thunderstriker there. I didn't have to wait very long for any of them because while they're only running 2 trains, the ops are fantastic. I will say this weekend, Dollywood compared to here, Carowinds is doing so much better with operations. All their operators seem incredibly well trained. Not that Dollywood's not well trained, but they seem to be still kind of in the process of training a lot of people and getting used to everything. Carowinds operators firing on all cylinders. Although I will say some of the op choices in terms of where to staff are a little weird. Like right now, Fury, when I was over there, had 6 people checking restraints, 3 on each side, and a grouper. So a total of 7 people on the platform, whereas Thunderstriker only had 2 instead of 7. So I don't really know how they decide where to divvy people up, but whatever. The ops that are there are fantastic, very fast, very professional. They know what they're doing. I always love it here with op-wise. The first few times I came here, the ops were incredibly questionable, but last year and this year, they've been doing fantastic. They've really been stepping it up. I can tell that's something that they're really pushing at this park, is trying to have much better operations, and good. They're doing a great job. Yeah, as soon as this cycle's done, I'm gonna get on Carolina Sky Tower, take a ride up like about 300 feet in the air, and check out some views of the park from up there. This is one of my favorite non-coaster rides in the park. This might be my favorite non-coaster ride at the park. Not thrilling at all, obviously. It's just a little observation tower, but it's fun to get some views. It'll be interesting to see how Nighthawk's plot and all that look from up there.
Powered by the park's original theater, representing the history and culture of the Carowinds and the blending of the words Carolina and Winds, with reference to gyms that flow across the 2 states. Carowinds still holds the title of being the only amusement park in the United States that is situated within 2 states. This 2,700-ton locomotive is full throttle testing ability. Another test of fortitude is Copperhead Strike, Carolina's first double launch roller coaster, located in the Blue Ridge Junction area, which is inspired by. Thank you for riding the Carolina Sky and letting us show you the We hope you enjoy your day and look forward to seeing you.
Anyways, that was good. I always enjoy Carolina Sky Tower. Get some beautiful views of, you can see, today's a pretty clear day actually, even though it was storming this morning, it's clear now. So you can see the Charlotte skyline and everything. Got plenty of, trying to get some footage of the construction areas as well from up there. Kind of the best views in the park actually. So it looks like Hurler also got like a tad little bit of new track work this year. Nowhere near as much as it got last year or 2 years ago or whenever it was. It had a pretty major retracking done, but that major retracting still kind of sucked. So we're gonna see how it is right now. As long as it's still better than Thunder Run, we'll be good, because Thunder Run's was really bad. Although Thunder Run's apparently getting a good retracking this year as well, so who knows? What a freaking beautiful ride right here. Look at this. It's so ugly, I can't even joke about it. Like the station just ends. Yeah, okay. Alright, I got a drink from the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, wanted a cherry vanilla Coke. Look how small the cups are now. This is the regular size, that's $5.49. It's price gouging at its finest. It's got worse. This new park map is also the first piece of park signage I've seen at Carowinds so far that says copyright Six Flags instead of copyright Cedar Fair. A lot of the other signage still says Cedar Fair on it. It'll take a while before it all gets replaced, but that is strange. Now the 2026 water ride, the log flume, we know from Kermit Leaks, is going right there, which is where the old River Rapids ride used to be. That River Rapids ride has been abandoned for like 5 or 6 years at this point. But yeah, new log flume going there. Hopefully they theme it up a bit so it's not like terribly ugly looking, but the new Sear Fair Six Flags company seems to be pushing for theming more, so hopefully that does happen. Nighthawk's plot right here is probably going to be like, I'd say 2028 or more likely 2029 for probably a giga dive. I have to imagine going there. Again, probably, I'd guess 2029. We'll see if I'm right in like 4 years. Then you still got that plot up there that used to be Dinosaurs Alive. I'm thinking that'll probably be a family launch coaster in that spot, a large one like Big Bear Mountain or something there. That's my guess. So, and that'll be way after the Giga Dive coaster. So those are my guesses for the future of Carowinds. So we'll see what happens there. There's one of the giant ass claw machines that like a kid, like a 12-year-old kid, managed to get himself stuck in. Was that 2 years ago? I don't even know. Time flies. It feels like that was just yesterday, but I know it was a couple years ago. All right, so Carolina Cyclone did open. It was closed this morning, but it opened at some point this afternoon. So I'm excited to go ahead and go take a ride on that. This is one I try to ride every time I'm here because, well, with how old it is and the current rate that the current Six Flags company is ripping out older rides, I feel like this ride is really not long for this world. And I really do enjoy it, from the positive forces to mostly just the classic nature of it. It's a very historic attraction. You never know which rides on this are going to be your last. All right, just got off 2 rides on Carolina Cyclone. Again, I try to do at least 2 rides every time I'm here from now on because any time could be my last time. You really never know these days. Rides seem to be closing left and right without warning, especially older ones like that. Obviously, something like Fury is not going anywhere, but Carolina Cyclone seems to check all the boxes for rides that could be removed at any point. So I have no source saying it'll be removed. It just seems to check all the boxes. So I would warn you, ride it while you're here. But, you know, it's pretty good. Weirdly enough, I rode in row 13. I thought near the back, second to back row, I thought that was a lot smoother than row 3 near the front of the train. Usually most rides are smoother near the front. This was much smoother in the back, also much more forceful in the back. I didn't gray out really at all in the front, but on the back you definitely did. Also, that drop in the back car is like surprisingly good. I don't think I realized how steep it was. Maybe I just never ridden in the back before. You're in the back car, it caught me off guard. You just yanked through it. And it's like Tennessee Tornado good. So yeah, thumbs up. I do like that ride a lot. But again, I don't think it's long for this world. So I am heading up to ride Afterburn, a ride I kind of forgot was up here. I don't know how I forgot that today. That was like the highlight of my fall visit. Beautiful B&M invert in every sense of the word, beautiful. We got about 45 minutes, or I have about 40 minutes until the park closes. All right, walking right on to Afterburn. This is crazy. I think this is the most empty I have ever seen this park in my entire life. I have literally walked on to every single attraction today. Even Intimidator had what looked like a line barely down the stairs, but not really as soon as I walked up to it, you know.
Attention riders, Afterburn is currently experiencing a temporary delay in operation. We do not know how long this delay will last, but we do appreciate your patience and cooperation throughout the process.
Well, I guess I picked the worst time. I'm gonna go up in the station and see what's going on, so.
All clear, dispatch.
Clear to take off.
Yeah, it's not like 5 minutes. They spent test cycle and that was it. All right, I'm going again on Afterburn. I got time. Holy shit. Dude, it's by far the most intense ride in the park. I think that's now my number 2 ride in the park. And honestly, I do know they exist. I know some people that prefer this over Fury, and I totally understand why. Because this just has so much intensity and bite to it that Fury doesn't have. I think Fury is a better coaster in that it's more accessible to more people, even though it's tall. It's really the only thing that's super intense about it is how tall and fast it is. Everything's very flowy in a way that this is not. I don't know. Doing back row again. The best place to ride.
Clear to take off.
The one that hurts your head.
All right, just got off my second ride on the back row of Afterburn, and wow. I think this is, in terms of positive forces without shakiness or roughness, like this is it for me that I've ridden so far. Every other ride I can think of that supplies equal or more positive G's than that does so while either being rough or being incredibly shaky. This does it while being butter smooth. It's the smoothest B&M in the park, despite being like 10 years older than Thunderstriker and like 15 years older than Fury. It runs smoother than both of those somehow. 20 minutes until park close. I'm gonna go grab a t-shirt for Fury because they had some cool looking Fury t-shirts I wanted to grab, and hopefully since it's opening weekend, they actually have my size in stock, because that's been the main problem in the past. They have some cool t-shirts for the 10th anniversary of Fury. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen a park do a like shirt for like a 10th anniversary, so. I'm about to see my first theme park fight. Some idiot had their phone out on the ride, and since it's a bunch of enthusiasts, everyone started screaming at them to put their phone away, and then they got kicked off, and then they were like yelling at us, so it's gonna be funny. They were like waiting outside, so oh no, they weren't like yelling at people that were us on the train. They were standing there and yelling at us, but they left before we actually came off. That's funny. Anyways, yeah, that was fun. Had a whole train of enthusiasts, so we screamed one more ride, and they gave us one more ride. That was great. So got last ride of the night twice. Yeah, dude, that was so funny. So the group was a group of 4, and they were like, maybe not completely drunk, but pretty intoxicated. And apparently other people said they were like shoving people in the queue line and like obnoxious, intoxicated behavior. So one guy just like has his phone out the whole time, and everybody's screaming, "Put your phone away." He doesn't do it. We got back at the station, we all told on them, and they kicked them off, so they didn't get their actual last ride of the night. And so they were standing down by like the entrance, and then when we got onto the brake run, they started like yelling obscenities at specifically the one guy that told the operators on them. So I thought they were going to be waiting down there, and there was going to be a confrontation, but as soon as we came down the stairs, they scrammed. So that's funny. I'm glad they did not get their last ride. 2 major new family rides coming, not right now. They're like a little bit while I'm at it. You may notice I am moving in not the direction of the hotel at all. And that is true. Again, I'm going on a little hike. I mean, normally I'd stay at a park till like 8 or 9 p.m. anyway. So this is just like I'm still in the park walking around. We'll see if security shows up and tell me I can't do this, but it's just a parking lot, so it should be fine. So basically when I was riding Afterburn, I noticed both rides from the top of the lift that there's some old scrapped Nighthawk parts that are just like laying out in the parking lot, not even surrounded by a fence or anything. They're just in the parking lot over by the water park gate. So Obviously, I am not going to take anything because don't do that, please. But I do want to go take a look at them and maybe take a selfie with them because that would be fun and funny. And yeah. So yeah, this is a ridiculously huge parking lot. There's the front gate back there. You see how empty it is today. They barely filled those parts of the lot. At hot days, it can get all the way full, all the way back here. So you'll see this is barely even the start. You turn this corner up to the right here, and the parking lot, about the same width, just keeps going all the way to the end of Thunderstriker. Then it goes around the corner again, and when it goes around the corner again, that's when that's where the Nighthawk parts are, that we're gonna take a look at real quick. So quite the hike. But I'm stupid, so here we are. Here's the construction entrance for Project Sparrow, which is the new Planet Snoopy rides that are nowhere near done yet. They weren't working on it today, but it's also a Sunday, so I guess that's not really expected. For those of you wondering why I didn't just drive over here, that's a great question. That's what I would have done if I was parked in this parking lot. Unfortunately, I'm parked in the hotel parking lot, which is a separate gate, so I can't just pull around through this gate. There they are. Those are some big ass support columns when they're just sitting out in the parking lot like that, just laying down. I'm gonna go take some selfies with them because I'm stupid, and then we'll walk all the way back. Beautiful B&M invert. Beautiful. Anyways, I think I'm not the only one that had this idea. I see 3 or 4 people like standing around it. So there's 2 pieces of track just sitting over there for some reason. Over here there's a couple more, and then support columns. Because yeah, there we go. There's some pieces of Nighthawk. Those are big support columns. I didn't realize they were this big. Here's some track pieces. I assume they've already hauled a lot of stuff off to the scrapyard because this is nowhere near as much stuff as they've removed. But here it all is. Oh, that support still has a track segment connected to it. Yeah, that's weird. But you can see how they just came and just... looks like they kind of... I don't do construction stuff, so I don't know. It's something hot because it's all burnt. But yeah, just sliced right through them because they're just throwing it away. Kind of a shame, but also this thing was never going to run consistently ever again. Dude, the parking lot is literally blue from all the paint chips that have come off of the supports from where they were cut. It looks like salt, like when they salt the roads, but it's blue paint. It's funny. I think that's Taylor and Sarah from Coaster Studios. There's 2 other pieces just kind of over here for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. Anyways, Taylor and Sarah piecing out. That's definitely them, but I don't want to bother them right now, so bye guys. All right, back to the hotel we go. I started a distance counter thing so I can see how long it actually takes. A security guy did come up while I was looking at the things, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm just looking at the track. And he was like, oh yeah, it's okay. Take as much time as you want. Just don't walk close to the park perimeter. And I was like, okay. So I'll keep my distance a little bit, I guess. But yeah, if you are gonna go look at those Nighthawk demo pieces, definitely drive over there. I just couldn't really today due to the unique set of circumstances. So we do what we gotta do to get content and take selfies with demolished roller coaster track. Even after that ridiculous hike, there's still cars left in the parking lot. I am not the last one at this front gate. Anyways, timed it took about 0.6 miles from the back of the parking lot to the front gate. So that's how far you get to hike if it's a completely full day. And also if you're stupid like me and you want to walk over to see the Nighthawk stuff, it's about 0.6 miles each way. So about 1.2 mile round trip. And now I'm heading back to the hotel, which should be, I think, another 1/3 of a mile on top of that based on my estimate this morning, and I'll go ahead and get checked in. All right, following the signs, although it would definitely be faster if I just bolted across this empty street. Oh, do you see that? There's a deer. Good night. Hiding in the trees. Oh, there's a lot of them actually. All right, final little home stretch here behind the parking tolls. And we are about there. So I'll go grab my suitcase out of my car and check in, and it's only about 7 p.m. So I have a nice night to enjoy this hotel. Down the hall. Oh, nice elevators. Here we go. So they're lit up white already, and then when you click the numbers, they turn red. You know, this is a very fancy elevator. Very fancy place. Glad I was able to get a good deal on it tonight, relatively speaking. I'll show you more of it in a second. My hands are just kind of full at the moment. View to die for from the elevator lobby here. There's the main lobby, chicken, the bar and everything down there. So, nice. To do kind of a moment of truth. Oops, I just closed it back on myself. Ooh. I left something in my car by accident, but this is so weird. Just walking down this really tight, skinny hallway and just seeing furious turnaround at the end. Oh, we're getting close to sunset. I think I'm gonna go have a drink out on the patio in a minute. I should get something out of my car and get some charge in my phone and computer. So hopefully the sunset's not over by the time I do that. You know, seeing Cedar Fair specific ads in a hotel lobby is definitely not what I'm used to. Holy shit, look at that shot. The sun right over her. Wow. Here we go. Tell me that's not pretty good. Anyways, here's the patio space out here outside the bar. I think during the winter when it's cold, they'll have that gas fireplace they're going. And there's a pool over there as well. Can't quite get where you can see Intimidator and stuff, but it is interesting. I see all the lighting in the park is still up. I see the display above the main entrance is still playing ads. Fury, all the lighting packages for the rides are still on, and it's like 2 or 3 hours after closing at this point, so I don't know when they turn those lights off. All right, I'm just gonna chill here for a couple hours before going to bed and work on some videos. Although this is not the video I'm gonna work on right now, it just happens to be what was pulled up. Actually, I haven't even started this one yet. I just made the file. So anyways, that was a pretty successful day at Carowinds just because of how empty the park was. So, and I'm really excited to be staying in the on-site hotel here at a pretty good price. It's pretty nice, especially just being able to walk over here right after. All right, goodbye hotel. This is a super nice hotel, and again, it's really awesome that they have an on-site hotel offering here at Carowinds and Smudge Regional Theme Parks. Don't have that, so hopefully I'll get to stay here again on one of my future visits. I would totally stop in and grab a ride or two, but it is currently Monday, March 17th, and the park is not open. They are open weekends only right now, which is interesting because I know this is a big spring break week. At least it's a spring break week for me. So anyways, park's not open, so I'm going home.